This is the fifth video for this week. If you are interested in watching the previous videos on this topic, the links are given in the description box. In this video, we are going to see about input statements. We know about print statements, if statement, etc. And now we are going to see about input statement. In all our videos, we created variables and gave values in the code itself, such as book equal to 4, puppy equal to 1, address equal to 12 Main Street, etc. So if we want to change the value for the variable, we will change it in our code before we run the code, correct? So if we want to write puppy equal to 2 or address equal to 12 High Street, we would change it in the code. Now we gave some value that we wanted to give, something which we liked. What if we want to ask another person and give the value that they want us to give? Or what if we want to change the value again and again? Every time we run the code, we want to keep giving new values. So of course we can change in the code every time before we run the code. But there is a much easier and better way to do it. That is using the input statement. When we use the input statement, Python will ask us for the value when it is running the code. So we can keep giving different values without making any change in the code. Let's go to Python and see some examples. I want to write a code to print my favorite color. So I will create a variable, and as usual, I give the value for the variable also. So I write color equal to, within single quotes, I write red. Now let us write a print statement and see what value is saved for color. So we write print, open the bracket, close the bracket, single quotes. What do we write? Your favorite color is, what do we use for string variable? That's right, we use %s. And then after this we put another percentage, and within brackets again we write color. Cool. Now save the file and run the code. Red is printed as output. Now let's say we are playing a game and we want to ask each of our friend, what is your favorite color, and then print that value. So instead of changing the value of color in the code every time after we ask a friend, let us use an input statement. So after color, we remove red from here and we write input, open the bracket, close the bracket. This is the way to use the input statement. So what happens is, instead of keeping the same value for red, whatever color we type as input will become the value for that variable called color. Now Python will keep that value and the variable name in memory. Now let us save the file and run the code. So when Python reads an input statement, it will pause and wait for us to give a value. So we need to give a value and then press enter. Now I am giving the color as blue and then I press enter. So blue is printed in the final sentence. We have to press enter after we type the value. Only then Python will continue running the remaining code. Let us run the code again. Now I give the color as yellow and press enter. Let me do that. So I give yellow, press enter. So yellow is printed. Now because we wrote this program, we know that it is about printing our favorite color, and although it is blank here, we know that we have to type a color. So we won't type a name of sports or anything else. But what happens when somebody else gives the input? How will they know what to give as input value? For example, let me run the code again, and if I type tennis and press enter, it will print your favorite color is tennis. That sentence does not look correct, right? So when somebody is running this program, it's good to give them some information about what value we want them to give as input. So how do we tell them? We can tell them by adding a statement inside our input statement. Let us see how to do that. So we write within the input statement, we put single quotes and write, what is your favorite color? Just like we do when we write sentences in the print statement, we should use single quotes for the sentence. Now, let us save the file and run the code. When we give a sentence asking a question or explaining what information we need, it is easy for others to understand what information they should give as input. Now, let us change our print statement again. Instead of asking a question, we are going to write, so let me remove what is and write please type, and we have favorite color, and at the end I'm going to write and click enter. So they also know that they have to press enter. Now save the file and run the code. Now we can type yellow and then press enter, and the value is printed as output. So when we use input statement to take any value, Python will always think that the data type is string. So what do we do when we want to give integers as input? Like all this time we only gave colors. What if we want to give numbers? We can do that after we learn about data types in detailed sessions with lot of examples in our level 2 course. Now in this program, I have asked one question and printed the value. Can you write one program to get values for 3 questions? For example, what is your favorite game? What is your favorite book? Who is your best friend? And then print the 3 values. So you can play this simple game with your family and friends. So you can run the code, they can type the values and hit enter, and then the values will be displayed. So it's a fun game to play. Now do that, and I will see you in the next code with our final project. See you soon.